Díomh uh, Conjugal Smisha on Maonaigh Tá mé as an clán dal cash Tá mé Malaysian agus tá osmorm de bíon live inis. Hello, my name is An Moenig. My name is Paul Mooney. I'm part of the Dalcassian clan. I have roots going back to Brian Boru. My father's roots are with the Mooney clan, Moenig, ancient Druids, in particular in Offaly. And on my mother's side, Farrell, we are ancient royalty from Longford. I'm here with you for a few minutes as a virtual getting to know you, coffee dates kind of thing. And if you meet me for coffee, you'll see me walking around with mm, a purple folder. I'm disappearing behind the purple folder. Let me take this background off so you can see where I am. I'm in the Carlton Hotel here. I'll just blur it in the back so you can see that the documents I'm about to show you. So if you meet me, you'll meet me with this folder. I want to walk through this folder as if I was meeting you for a coffee. So give me a few minutes. Um, I'll unblur the background as well because that's going to be blur my background. No, there we go. So this is a view of the spiritual nature with which Eirunomics has evolved from the monad, barbello, um, trust, gra, promise, consciousness, into how we get on in 3D production, exchange, distribution, measurement. Through commons trust in the core of the tree there, which leads to well-being, education, health, new enterprises, governance, new currencies, new ideas, and then the roots, culture and myth, trust and memory, land and ecology into the forest of cosmunity. Cosmunity is a word, a portmanteau of cosmic and unity in which we engage with local enterprises, commons networks as ecological generation. The next thing you'll see from me is my statement of claim as a free man. I won't read it out to you, but it's what's called a Dowen notice. So I've claimed myself as Paul Martin. I was born as Paul Mooney into a family called Mooney. But on my birth cert, it says Paul Martin, but I didn't declare myself until recently. And what this does, it's a three-page document. It claims my domain, or in Irish, my Dowen, which is the Irish word for world. So I've claimed myself. Again, I'm sitting with you for a cup of coffee. I show you my family tree. I show you where I've come from. I could trace back to 1799 on the Mooney side, little 1800s. But my DNA goes back until the Milesians. Here is my family tree. Obviously, you can't see that. I didn't see that myself. I show you my haplogroup, my DNA type. I show you a connection back to Brian Boru. I'll show you all my bloodlines. Okay. And then the next thing I will do is I'll show you the front page of my claim. This is Dowen Paul Martin Statement and Declaration of Truth. Okay. Ráchis agus dearg na fillinge that I, at a soul level, have the name Mu. I'm the living being Paul Martin. I have a bloodline Moenig, and these are my given names and the identities with which I take place in the world. The next thing I will show you is a constellation. This is how I constellate in the world. My Dowen, now we'll do this, of Paul Mooney. Then the legal person. Sorry, that's the Dowen. I have to do this backwards. That's the Dowen of Paul Martin. That's Paul Mooney, the legal person. And then we have a common for my family. We have a common for Eirunomics. And then we have a limited company, Cohesion Dialogue. And we have a company limited by guarantee, Ovation Community Learning, trading as Eirunomics. Then I'll show you some seals. These are the seals for Eirunomics, Common Eirunomics and Common Maonaigh Fadal. There they are in color. There they are in mono. And then I'll show you the Eirunomics flag. I flew that at the GPO this Easter. Not a joke. I was in the GPO, put it in the window, took a photograph to remember what was done in 1916. The next thing I'll show you is the common for Eirunomics. So this is an established common, and I am only its protector. Eru herself is the declarant. We have two stewards, Robert Patrick and Anthony Christopher, and the common essentially declares itself under divine law, natural law, cosmic law, and Brehon law. The next thing I'll show you is the Dúchas. The Dúchas are the bylaws of the common. And I've spent about a year working on this, looking at what was going on in corporations and elevating all of the containing words, all of the archonic principles in limited companies and company limiteds by guarantee to release them to the next level. So these are operating guidelines with language. This is 53 lines of code. This is how Eirunomics is being positioned. Once we press submit on this line of code, we will kick off Eirunomics. And our hope is that it's going to be a legacy system lasting for at least 2,000 years. This is a constellation of Eirunomics. In the middle is Eru herself, and it's a mutual trust. It's a sovereign common. It's run by the Dúchas. And then all these things around are the partners that we engage with. I'll read them out in a little minute, but there is our 7-year cycle. In 2006 and 2027, we're going to seed. The year after, we'll proof. Then we integrate. We will replicate, shape, scale, and legacy. You'll notice there's two 2031s there. That's good old AI. However, the Eirunomics Gra constellation, we want to activate for 150 million Gaels and Celts to use love to live, play, and evolve. And we work through clients and partners. We work through dialogue and cohesion. We work with CEDAR, which is an AI research body. We work with Cycles, the trade debt settlement system. We work with Cyclos, the online mobile banking system. We work with the university. We work with Brehon Law. If we're working with blockchain, we work with the Canton blockchain. And then we work with small to medium enterprises and collectives. And the GRA play form is about metrics, risk, value flow, Brehon on the blockchain, or it might be on IPFS. We're still thinking about that. It's about a community balances sheet, and we have a number of people who are involved at various levels. The unit of measurement, similar to the honor price in Brehon, is called GRA. If you're with a single cell, you can owe people, you can share ledgers, you can redeem goods and services, you can earn trust, you can reward and contribute. If you're in multiple cells, it's trusting promises, recording them between members, shared ledgers, private credit, redeemable credit, local first, connected networks, mutual credit system, social missions, commitment pooling, and the unit of significance, which we call GRA. We use the word cosmunity, not community, so cosmic unity. We noticed that Charles Darwin's interpretation was not survival of the fittest, it was survival of those most open to change. So cooperation is not the opposite to evolution. It is evolution. So we go from competition to cooperation, from scarcity to shared abundance through Gra, Common, Comortus, and Cruhu, gathering together we flourish. We've looked at the Brehon Law. I took about 30 documents. I got AI to give me what was the core essence of them. We found 4,929 entries along 400 categories and 6 major themes. And these are all of the subsections that the Brehon Law is providing us wisdom for. So we're not talking about destroying current law. We're saying, let us bring in Brehon Law as principles that we can practice together as lawful men, lawful women. We play with the idea of extellect. Intellect is individual, extellect is collective. So many people providing their intellectual ideas into a synthesis and then putting that into a common that everybody can share. We have what is this? Oh, school.com. Just look for Eirunomics. You'll find those channels and communities and classrooms. There are thousands of resources in there. This is our website, www.eirunomics.earth. This is what we call the technosis stack. At the heart of it is a RAG AI, our own, and then we work with warm space in transparent, secure, honorable, and Brehon-based relationships. We work with Cycles, Island Power Collective, Cozy, GAP, which is Geo Cybernetic Atlas Protocol. What's that there? We work with S3, social value people, and then we integrate all of those into various physical and virtual common all over the world. This is our YouTube channel. Go onto YouTube, type in Eirunomics, and you'll find a growing number of short little videos to explain what we're doing. I've been in the technology business for 30 years, built devices in the past. This is the device we want to build going forward. We call it a swearable. This will be listening to your voice and connecting back to the dúchas and the governance of the common. So when you are speaking out of honor, your amulet will flash orange. It will say to everybody, including yourself, you're speaking out of honor based on your words that you're using right now in this time. It's an opportunity to stop, to breathe. So it's an amulet called the swearable. In terms of physical location, nearly finished. We are imagining the kingdom of Ossory. So I'm going to be physically based here near Oscray, and we're going to activate all through Kilkenny, the North, the Barrow, and the Sur, all the way out to Waterford. It's our first kingdom that we're going to be working with. Might take us 5 or 10 years to get to the people who want to be part of Eirunomics in that kingdom. And then once we have everything up and running, we'll share it with all of the other kingdoms. I'm moving into a cottage. There it is. It's called Hope's Gate, a little bit outside Roscrea. But as you can see, on the border of Laois, Offaly, Tipperary, and not far from Kilkenny. There is the cottage. I'm moving in there in the middle of May. It's called Hope's Gate. Hope's Gate has 3.36 acres of land. There's the cottage. And we are convening it as a Brehon school and a reflection of Milo Farm, which is the owner's farm in Kansas. That's what it looks like inside. I'll be living there myself, but people are welcome. This is what the land looks like right now. Cottage, there's the land. And we have a multi-stage process of what we're going to turn it into. There is stage 1. There is stage 2. There is stage 3. And 4 is with tree houses. Stage 5 is the building of a ceremonial temple, which I've been dreaming about since 2012. So that's stage 5. Nice and shiny. Hey, you'd be better off sitting beside me having a cup of tea. You wouldn't be able to notice the reflection. There is the place I've been dreaming in since 2012. It's called Tearmann, Tearmann, which is the Celtic word, the Gaelic word, actually, not the Celtic, for sanctuary. Did you see that? Did I show you that? It goes underground. Half on the land, half deep in the heart of Eru. So we'll be accessing European money, private money, public money, community money, no money. There it is there. And imagine the healing that's going to go on in that place when we sit in dialogue circles and medicine circles. There is the original drawing that I did for that myself from PowerPoint in 2012. AI has been doing those drawings now. And the final part of what we're doing is healing. This is a healing algorithm. Sorry, it's a healing androrhythm. When one person sits with two people in a healing ceremony, you become a triskel. If every member of those triskel shares that healing to the power of n, and that could be mushrooms, could be MDMA, could be 5-MeO-DMT, could be yoga, could be food, could be Reiki, could be bioresonance, whatever you like. I'm going to read this out. A recurrence that takes place every week, starting with 3. It would take 33 weeks for 8 billion people on the planet to be healed. So we work in triskells. We're not trying to get to 3 billion people. We're trying to get to 3 people. The more groups of 3 people we have, the better. Okay? So if you met me for coffee, I wouldn't speak this fast. This would take an hour to get you through it, but I was imagining not being able to get to everybody simultaneously. So I'm going to put this on YouTube. And if you find it, it's because we are meeting virtually. Okay. My number is 087-483-9711. 087-483-9711. My email address is paul@eirunomics.earth. Paul at EIRUNOMICS.earth. Paul@eirunomics.earth. Visit YouTube, visit school, visit the website. Have a look around if it's interesting to you. And even deeper than that, if it lands with you, you will not be working with me. Okay? Do not believe a word I say. You will be engaging directly with Eru because I am the emissary of Dagda. I am the consort of Eru Faula Banba, and I'm only doing their bidding. So nobody working for me. I'm not working for anybody. When we set up, we are working on behalf of the cosmic energies of the Tuatha Dé Danann, who for me are representatives of Lemuria, who for me are representatives of Sophia, of Barbello, and of Maonaigh. So we are working directly with, through, from source into the 3D and beyond. So when I meet you for a cup of coffee and you see this folder, you'll have a little memory and a little recollection. And if we speak over a cup of tea or coffee, I won't be saying the same thing. I'll say something different because we'll be tuning in. We'll be dialoguing. Okay? Blessings on your day, Gurumi and Mahagat. In the Brehon, we say Laura Mish Oskior Fenyaha. Laura Mish Oskior Fenyaha. Laura Mish Oskior Fenyaha. We are speaking in front of witnesses, and this little video is a witness, and you're a witness. Please feel free to share this YouTube. Gurumi and Mahagat. Salamas Balak.